countries enjoy very strong bonds of friendship, cultural affinity, and an enduring desire for sustainable peace, security, and development for our people, our region, and indeed the continent as a whole. Kenya is very proud to be one of South Sudan's oldest friends and supporters, and today's visit underscores the shared vision and values held by our two nations. Today also is a good opportunity for us to discuss our cooperation in areas of mutual interest at the bilateral, regional, and multilateral levels. Kenya, as you all again know, has walked side by side with South Sudan in their journey for self-determination. Our commitment, and indeed our support to post-independence South Sudan, remains just as steady today as it was in the very early days. On building a deeper and sustainable peace in South Sudan, I wish to reaffirm once again my personal commitment and that of my government to ensuring that the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan is fully implemented. And in this regard, I urge the international community, led by the United Nations and the Troika of the United States, United Kingdom, and Italy, to engage strongly in support of the people of the South Sudan as well as her government. With the prevailing peace and stability following the signing of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of conflict in the Republic of South Sudan in 2018, and in the spirit of the East African community, Kenya proposes to host a Kenya Trade Expo in South Sudan in November of this year. The Expo, we believe, will reignite our trade and commerce cooperation and send a very powerful signal that indeed South Sudan is open for business. There exists a huge trade potential between our two countries, and we have discussed and identified strategies to be employed to enhance our bilateral trade. We have commended our ministers and their technical teams for having successfully convened the inaugural session of the Joint Commission for Cooperation. This important inaugural meeting has agreed on important outcomes related to our continued political and economic engagement, including on matters related to the promotion and protection of investment, double taxation, capacity building, as well as peace and security. This will secure the peace of South Sudan and promote development and economic growth in a sustainable manner in both our countries. To further boost our trade relations and the social-cultural interaction of our people, I also express Kenya's commitment to the full implementation of the LAPSSET projects, including the transnational highway, oil pipeline, and Lamu Port, among others. On the Lamu Port, which when operational is expected to facilitate handling of cargo destined for South Sudan, the first berth will be ready August of this year, while berths 2 and 3 are expected to be completed within the year 2020. I have already invited Your Excellency with other regional leaders at their convenience to inspect the Lamu project in due course. Further, to ease the movement of goods consigned to South Sudan, the Kenya government has responded to the request of South Sudan to set aside 10 acres of land at the inland container depot in Naivasha Industrial Park for use as a dry port by the government of South Sudan. We as a nation, and I reiterate once again Kenya's commitment to continue providing any necessary capacity building support that may be required on mutually agreed terms, including development of training and mentorship programs for higher level cadre of key institutions in South Sudan's public service. In conclusion, once again, I welcome Your Excellency and your delegation to Kenya, and I wish you a very fruitful stay here in Nairobi. And I conclude by saying, Karibu Kenya, Karibu Nyumbani.
We seek to strengthen our ties because of the shared conviction that has given our geographical proximity as neighbors, and the books of history, culture, and common destiny that unite our people, and the relationship between South Sudan and Kenya should naturally be a close one. President Uhuru Kenyatta and I have had very fruitful discussions on a broad range of issues spanning from political, economic, and security matters of mutual interest. It is also gratifying to note that we have now agreed on a framework for the engagement on border issues, and technical teams from both countries will soon meet to start the process of resolving border-related issues. In a world of fast-changing political dynamics, we are of the view that it is critically important to establish joint mechanisms for political, emerging, international, and regional developments. To that end, I'm going forward. South Sudan and Kenya shall be exchanging views from time to time on issues of mutual interest. We have also reviewed process achieved so far in the implementation of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan. And in this connection, South Sudan has registered once again its profound gratitude to the government and people of Kenya for the sustained support to peace efforts in South Sudan. We are delighted to further note that we have received assurances that the government of Kenya will be exerting additional efforts to bolster the smooth implementation of the peace agreement in South Sudan as a complement to its already commendable endeavors within the IGAD framework. The Republic of Kenya remains a big economic gateway to the rest of the world, not only for South Sudan, but for the entire East Africa region, sub-region. In the light of this, we have agreed to undertake arrangements that will further facilitate and promote both South Sudan's imports and exports, export trade via the Republic of Kenya. Our discussions also touched upon important infrastructure projects between our two countries and contribute to the regional economic integration. We have also reflected on security challenges facing our region and agreed to intensify joint efforts to address any threat posed by terrorism and transboundary organized crimes. This is what we have agreed upon. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.